Why did Jungkook cry when Jin finally showed up? The unexpected visit that shook ARMY to its core. Jungkook was not expecting anyone that night. The apartment was quiet, dimly lit, and still carrying the faint scent of birthday candles extinguished 2 days earlier. It was September 3rd, and the youngest member of BTS had just wrapped up a private celebration of his 28th birthday. But what happened at 11:47 p.m. that evening was not only unexpected, it was emotionally seismic. Without warning, Kim Seokjin, known to the world as Jin, appeared at Jungkook's door. No prior message, no call, no knock, just the sound of the door unlocking and the silhouette of a man who had been conspicuously absent during one of the most anticipated dates in the BTS calendar. Why was Jin late? Why did Jungkook cry? And what was in the mysterious box Jin carried? The questions began piling up the moment Jungkook turned toward the entrance and froze. His expression was not one of joy. It was confusion, disbelief, and something deeper. Jin, dressed in a simple black hoodie and jeans, stood silently for a moment before offering a smile that felt both apologetic and mischievous. Jungkook's voice broke the silence. "Hyung, why now?" Jin didn't answer immediately. Instead, he laughed, a short, restrained chuckle that only added to the tension. ARMY had been asking the same question for days. Why hadn't Jin posted anything on Jungkook's birthday? Why the silence? Why the absence? Jin's delay had not gone unnoticed. On September 1st, social media was flooded with birthday tributes to Jungkook from fans, fellow artists, and even global brands. But Jin, known for his heartfelt messages and playful banter, had remained silent. No tweet, no Weverse post, no video call. The void was deafening. Speculation ranged from scheduling conflicts to emotional distance. Some feared a rift. Others hoped for a surprise. But as hours turned into days, hope began to fade. Until that night, inside the apartment, Jungkook stood motionless as Jin walked in and placed a small, wrapped box on the coffee table. "I'm late," Jin said, finally breaking the silence. "I know. I'm sorry." The apology was simple, but it carried weight. Jungkook didn't respond immediately. His eyes were fixed on the box. "You didn't say anything," he whispered. "Not even a message." Jin nodded. "I wanted to say it in person." The tension in the room was palpable. Jungkook's hands trembled slightly as he reached for the box. ARMY would later describe the moment as unreadable. Was it anger? Relief? Sadness? The emotions were layered, complex, and raw. As Jungkook unwrapped the gift, Jin sat quietly, watching. Inside the box was a framed photograph, one that had never been shared publicly. It was a candid shot of the two of them, taken during their trainee days. Both were younger, thinner, and visibly exhausted. But they were smiling. The frame was engraved with a single line. "You were never alone." Jungkook's reaction was immediate. Tears began to fall, not dramatically, but quietly, uncontrollably. He covered his face with both hands, his shoulders shaking. Jin didn't move. He didn't speak. He simply waited. The silence was no longer awkward, it was sacred. ARMY, who would later learn about the visit through indirect sources, was left stunned. Why did Jungkook cry? What did the photo mean? And why had Jin chosen to remain silent until that moment? The answers are not simple. According to individuals close to the group, Jungkook had been feeling increasingly isolated in recent months. Despite global success, solo projects, and fan adoration, the absence of his older members, especially Jin, who had been serving in the military, had left a void. The birthday celebration, though filled with love from fans, lacked the familial warmth he had grown accustomed to. Jin's silence had amplified that feeling. The sudden appearance, the apology, and the deeply personal gift shattered the emotional dam Jungkook had been holding back. The photograph was not just a memory, it was a message. A reminder of their shared journey, their struggles, and the bond that had survived fame, distance, and time. Jin's decision to deliver it in person, rather than through a post or call, was deliberate. It was a statement, a gesture that words could not replicate. In the hours following the visit, Jungkook remained offline. No posts.
No updates.
ARMY speculated, debated, and theorized. Some felt relief. Jin had not forgotten. Others felt heartbreak. Jungkook's tears were not just about the gift, but about everything that had led to that moment. The emotional weight of the reunion was undeniable. What makes this incident particularly striking is the timing. Jin's visit came not on Jungkook's birthday, but 2 days later, after the world had moved on, after the candles had been blown out, and after the silence had begun to feel permanent. The delay was not just logistical, it was symbolic. It forced reflection, stirred emotion, and reignited conversations about the nature of connection, memory, and vulnerability. Jin's laughter, when asked why he was late, was not dismissive. It was layered. It carried regret, affection, and perhaps a touch of nervousness. The apology that followed was not rehearsed, it was real. And Jungkook's tears were not performative. They were the culmination of days, months, perhaps years of emotional buildup. As the news of the visit spread, ARMY responded with a mix of emotions: relief, joy, confusion, and empathy. The absence of a public statement from either member only deepened the intrigue. But perhaps that's the point. Not everything needs to be explained. Some moments are meant to be felt, not dissected. In the end, the visit was more than a birthday gesture. It was a reckoning. A reminder that even in the world of global stardom, where every move is scrutinized and every word analyzed, there are still moments of genuine human connection. Moments that defy explanation. Moments that make even the strongest cry. Jungkook's tears were not a sign of weakness. They were a testament to the depth of his bond with Jin. A bond forged in practice rooms, backstage corridors, and sleepless nights. A bond that, despite distance and silence, remains unbroken. And for ARMY, that is the real gift. The emotional gravity of Jin's visit did not dissipate with the passing hours. It deepened. As Jungkook sat in silence, the photograph still in his hands, the weight of memory pressed heavily on both of them. It was not just a birthday gift. It was a reckoning with time, distance, and the unspoken. Jin's presence, though late, carried more significance than any punctual message could have. The delay itself became part of the message, that some things are worth waiting for, even if they arrive after the candles have burned out. Observers close to the group noted that Jungkook had been unusually introspective in the days leading up to his birthday. While he maintained his public persona with professionalism, there were subtle signs of emotional fatigue. The absence of Jin, his closest confidant during formative years, was felt more deeply than fans could perceive. The silence was not just digital, it was personal. And when Jin finally appeared, it was as if the emotional tension of weeks had found its release.